We are
All
live.
right, everybody. Looks like we're live. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for joining online podcast. Tonight we have with us um, special guest Gene Campbell joining us to talk about the Patriot Borderlands Kayak Series event. It's coming up at Milford Lake and the mission behind it, and that's on May 30th. Gene, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
So we kind of want, for those that don't know you, we'd like to learn a little bit about you yourself. So I'd like to see if you tell us a little bit about who Gene is and go from there.
Yeah, man. I'll try to make it interesting. I'm a knucklehead who also enjoys competitive fishing. Did it for a few years out of a bass boat, and now in most recent years, I guess we're on year 4 here, doing it out of kayak. And along the way, found myself on a career-changing path. Ended up founding a nonprofit organization called the True Patriot Outfitters. And our sole focus here is to get vets, first responders, and their families, get them outdoors, create community, remove isolation, and rebuild mission and purpose. And we use the outdoors as our main tool to do that. So that's basically each year it's kind of taken more and more of my schedule, and my competitive fishing tends to suffer for that. So I don't do as many tournaments as I used to. And quite frankly, I'm totally cool with that nowadays. I've done my bid for King and Country. I've had the opportunity and just amazing time of fishing from all over this country, from South Carolina to Utah, and from Minnesota to Georgia. So it's I've had the opportunity to fish around quite a bit, and right now doing this work here basically with serving those that serve or have served has kind of taken over as the place where when you know about where you're supposed to be, right? So
Yep.
that's where we're at.
And so when did the actual Patriot Borderlands Kayak Series start? Was that 4 years ago? Or was that
No, it's this year.
this year? Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of was it was kind of a sitting around having coffee talking with a few people. The idea came up. And what this is, so at the TPO we have 3 different tiers of programs. We have our tier 1 program, which is all local. It's a half day to a 3/4 day where we take folks out, we introduce them to kayak fishing. Many of the people we take out, this is their first time. They've never had a chance to get out in a specific, kayak that's built for fishing. We have motors on all of our new canoes that we run. We have a fleet of new canoe unlimiteds, and so extremely stable. Easy to there's very little learning curve with these kayaks. They're in them and they're having a blast. So that's our tier 1 is our half day to 3/4 type day that we do, and we'll go to where they're at. We have 3 or 4 lakes around the state that we utilize. So if they're north, we'll go to one metro area, and then south we've got another that we can reach out to. Our tier 2, which is where the PBKS came into play. Our tier 2 is a regional thing. What we would do with those is we'd stretch out to something that was within, six, give or take a few hours from that 6-hour range of the metro area. And we go for a long weekend, get them out there either Thursday night or early Friday morning, and fish from, Friday, Saturday. If it's the fishing's real good, we'll keep going Sunday morning, and then we pack out of there, get them home by the Bronco game, and on Sunday, and basically it gives an opportunity to, in my opinion, this is where boots really hit the ground. Because now it's not just the kayaking, now the camping's involved, the camaraderie, that bonding starts to occur, across the campfire. Stories start to get exchanged. The inappropriate jokes are flying heavy. Usually on these events, you won't, go to bed without a sore set of cheeks and a gut from laughing, through these things that we put out there. So that's the tier 2 events, and that's where the PBKS came into play. Is we started thinking, well, how can we do this, but also involve bigger crowds? right? Of more vets, more first responders. And how do we reach out to our neighboring states? Not for nothing, Colorado water, our selection isn't as great when it comes to bass fishing specifically. We do have, we have fishing here. We have bass fishing here, and we have two clubs that have been going great and got some amazing anglers in them, and they do great. I didn't want to get in competition with anybody. That really, because that's not our purpose, right? Our purpose is to enhance the existing markets of the other clubs, and to reach out and connect with the vets and first responders in those clubs and bring them, into the fold here. Lastly, on top of that, there's something that I'm seeing start to take effect that occurred. It happened to me a couple years ago, and that is, if your number one priority with these events is on competing and performing well with competition, I'm going to throw out old man advice here. Sooner or later, you're going to get burnt. You're going to burn out. Mm-hmm. Because our sport has such a way of humbling you, in that if it's competition only, and you're forgetting about what it was that actually did bring us all into this, this hobby, turn it into a sport, which is that community piece. If that's not your main area, and I'll tell you where it sprung from. I watched other competitors and I watched myself drive 5-6 hours, spend 2-3 days fishing on a kayak. Tournament day rolls around, and then I caught myself driving home angry, mad at my performance. And it finally dawned on me, to be honest with you, here in the last year, I've been really reconnecting with my faith. And so as I'm sitting there having a conversation, I think the big man just went, pop, hit me in the back of the head and said, "Hey, dumbass, how are you going to go fish for an entire weekend? You have this opportunity that most guys don't get. And you're going to have the audacity, the gall to be mad because something didn't go right in the tournament, or you didn't catch fish. Like, that's never happened before." It's like, and it just kind of all come settling down on me that, holy shit, I've been focused on the wrong thing, man. Now, do I want to compete and do well? Sure, of course I do. I wouldn't go practice. I wouldn't spend the money I've spent on gear if I didn't want to, But it has no control anymore of my enjoyment of getting out there. None whatsoever. This last weekend in New Mexico was a great example. I had such a blast hanging out with this group down there. It's such an amazing community they have built down there in New Mexico. But we had one day, we had a couple tournaments there, and I actually caught a pile of fish. And in the local derby, I came in 5th. And then the next day during the state championship, I blanked. I didn't catch a damn fish. Everything that I had done literally less than 12 hours prior, nothing was going. And I spent, that entire morning, 5-6 hours trying to unravel it and couldn't. And I got off the lake and I'm still smiling. I'm like, still had a great weekend, dude. And I'm still going to go have fun at the awards with these guys, because I know I'm going to see a bunch of, cool people. And so it's a cool place to be, man. And that's what the PBKS is focused on. We don't do cash prizes. We are focused on the getting together. Are we going to compete? Sure, dog. Yeah. We're going to have a little friendly competition. And the cool thing is, vets, first responders, they don't pay a dime to get in. This is our way of saying thank you. And then on top of that, I've got some amazing sponsors that have gathered around us to allow us to be able to give, we raffle off a bunch of cool prizes to the vets and first responders that are there. So yeah, that's really where the PBKS came from. This is event number 2. And our third one, actually, I'll go ahead and say it here. We're actually going to go to Norton at the end of June. And we got people that are going to be flying in for that one. We've got some,
Wow.
we got some connections going through a couple vets that they know that it's coming, so they want to get in. So we're excited about that one too. But we wanted to get over on that end of the state of Kansas so that we could reach out to the Kansas kayak anglers, and just say, hey, you know what I mean? We tried to schedule it so we didn't interfere with the schedule. We were hoping that we were going to be on your state championship lake, but now it looks like those things have changed a little bit for the Bass Club. So
Yeah.
either way, we know it's a good fishery. It's a great area, right there next to Fort Riley. So yeah, we're excited, man. We hope we get a decent amount and get a chance to meet some people and break bread, man.
Nice. So, Gene, you were saying, how many new canoes do you guys actually have? Or do you just say, hey, new canoe, we're having 15 people there. Can we get 15? Or how does that work?
No. The TPO has an inventory. I have a ready fleet of 4 unlimiteds.
Nice.
And on top of that, I have a U10 that we can make ready. So we have 5 total. My guide boat is one of them. That's my orange one. And so, and that's by design. We actually had more kayaks. We sold them off because, in all honesty, span of control, I'm more concerned with quality of experience than I am the number of vets that we
Sure.
take out per trip. I would rather go 5 days back to back and not be able to move for 3 days. I'd rather do that than go one event and take out 15 people in one day. Just because I'm earnest in my desire to get to know these folks, man. I want to get to know them. I want them to know me, and I want them to leave here feeling like they're part of the TPO family now, and they're going to have to tell us to piss off if they're going to try to get rid of us, because they're in now, man. They're part of the family, right? And that's what we're looking for, is to create that community. And just knock that down. So yeah, we run basically 3 is a good day. If I have 3 folks that come out, I can do a 4th though.
Yeah. Very nice.
So when it comes to the tournaments, you have people that bring their own kayaks too.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so. The best example would be New Mexico. Our first trip, we went to Conchas Lake. There were 5 of us from Colorado that went down there. At the end of the day, there were 23 people that signed up. And of those 23 people, we had 18 vets first responders at that event.
Oh, wow.
And so these are kayak anglers in the community that are vets and first responders that are signing up, and people that just want to come hang out. Civilians, that's why we set the price for civilians at $22.
Yeah.
Just that kind of helps the TPO offset the camping, the food, that sort of thing, those costs.
So, Gene, let's say there's somebody like from the Kansas Kayak Anglers that's like, hey, I got a free weekend. I just want to come out, and can I take like somebody that maybe is just getting into fishing? Like, can they just follow that person out and be like, hey, let's go over here to the dam and throw this bait and maybe catch some fish? Can they do that as well?
Heck yes. That
And
would
now
be
you name it.
amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But I would appreciate, they don't have to fish in the tournament, but I would appreciate if they still sign up through Tourney X.
Yeah.
One of the things Dwayne Wally and we spoke about a few weeks ago on my show was that Tourney X really is a fantastic way for me to take a head count. It allows me to make sure I check off and got my waivers, lined up for the people that are with me on this event. And it helps me because we feed everybody on Friday and Saturday night. Anybody that shows up to camp, we're going to barbecue Friday night and Saturday night. So that helps me make sure that I've got enough food and such. If I have enough volunteers, a lot of times we'll even try to do breakfast, man, where we offer breakfast like 5 a.m. Now with the sun coming up at 5:15, 5:30, I might have coffee there. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm gonna do no eggs and bakey at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
We'll see. If I get enough volunteers, you never know.
No,
Yeah, that's a tough one, cooking that early in the morning for 20 people.
No kidding.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. A lot of it has to do with resource time. This one here, to be honest with you, it might just be me that's running this thing. So I have to be real good on my scheduling. I got a guy coming down. I got an Army vet coming down from Nebraska, and he wants to know how he can help. And so, like I told him, I was like, dude, I will take the help, because just trying to organize things for the awards and cooking and I've got 3 people. I've got a small family that's coming down. Mom and dad both vets, and they're bringing their son with them. And so I've got them on site that I'm bringing from Colorado over there. So I want to make sure, and I doubt they'll fish in the tournament. So I'll be guiding with them all day on Saturday, just
Okay.
hoping they have a good time out there. And so, yeah, it's you got to juggle these things here, but you know what? It's worth it, man. They did more than that. Their sacrifices. So I don't ever complain on that side of it. I may bitch and whine about it, but I should be slapped if I'm ever complaining. So
I'll remember that.
exactly. You have my permission. Just say right in the dumb shit spot right there.
Tony remembers everything too, so you better watch it. No.
Yeah. Remember that time when I was 4, Tim? No. Brotherly love.
Yeah.
So if I understand that correct, so PBKS is kind of like a part of the True Patriot Outfitters.
It is a DBA. Yep.
Yeah. So do you do other stuff with True Patriot Outfitters too? Like, do you do hunting trips and stuff like that, or outdoor stuff, or just
Fishing?
camping by itself?
So it's I appreciate you asking that. So that's always been the desire, right? To really fall in line to be a true outfitters at the end of the day. We're only an outfitter by name. We're not technically a registered outfitters or anything. We're an outfitters by name only. And our goal was always to get there. But I'll be straightforward and honest. Transparency has always been something we've been very, very big on, and that is my expertise, when it comes to this, comes in the fishing and the kayaking side. I feel comfortable taking people out for safe fun, and I can help people, with that. Hunting, I would not be a great, so it would require more people. And so I always kind of knew that was going to have to come down the line.
Gotcha.
Well, lo and behold, your guys' show will be the first time I'm officially announcing this. We're going to be making quite a few posts and so forth, but I've accepted a position with a larger organization. The TPO remains intact. It's going to keep doing its stuff. All my events, nothing changes. We stay on track. There's no nothing's changing other than we're growing stronger, and we're going to be coming underneath an umbrella of basically what's on my shirt, which is the Combat Recovery Foundation. I am now their chief programming officer there with them, so I'll be overseeing all of our programs.
Oh, wow.
Here locally, we have like rock climbing, hiking, outdoor activities. We have a large number of those programs that are out there, and I'll be helping those program directors make sure that they're getting everything they need, so that and our program of kayak fishing and the PBKS will be underneath that umbrella now. So it's a pretty exciting time. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be really weird to be working with other people again. I'm not going to lie. I've been like 5 years, so I'm feeling a little feral right now, So now I got to, right? I'm going to have coworkers again, which would be like, what? So yeah, it's exciting, man. This is what we always envisioned. And this organization is one that we respect. We love the people there, the work they're doing. It just makes the TPO even stronger to join and lock shields with them. So now our 2 motherships will be the Combat Recovery Foundation and the Romans Warrior Foundation. So TPO's still there, just it's the managing group, right? It's the one that we carry our insurance through TPO, and the DBA, the PBKS is there. So, Yep.
Excellent. Have you done any advertisement like at Fort Riley at all with anything like?
No, sir. This is our first time going into that area. I do some work with Heroes on the Water as well. And so I had to do a quick run to Des Moines to pick up a trailer for Howe and bring it back to Colorado. Gotcha. And so on my way, instead of going up through Nebraska I went through Kansas, and I stopped by the lake there and talked with the state park, and I got a chance. I knew I was in the right neck of the woods when I saw an Apache slow creeping, coming down the road. I'm like, oh, I must be near the lake at this point.
Tell you what, you're a good guy, but they still give you, make your hair stand up.
Right.
I'm glad I'm not a bad guy, man. AH-64 Apache coming down on me.
No kidding. Yep.
But Tony, you want to kind of go to the random question segment, kind of?
Do we want to talk any more about anything? We kind of talked about the kayak and the format, and so basically, let's say I just to kind of said what Tim said is, so if I were to come join
Yeah.
and do the tournament, it's really for me it would be to help out
Exactly.
first responders and vets, and I'm not expecting to win anything at the end of the day, which is make sure people understand that there's no, and it's really just to be out there and provide support and help you and grow the club and get people out in kayaks, because you said something earlier that really stood out to me, which is being angry on a 6-hour drive home. I think we've all been there,
right?
I've really tried not to do that this year. I'm grateful that I get to be part of the Kansas Kayak Anglers admin, and we were down at the Mineland Wildlife area, which is really fun.
That is.
But I didn't do well, and I just got off the water. It's like, you know what? I said to myself, I was like, I'm not really enjoying today, but what I enjoy is helping set up, for the award ceremony and those guys that show up that didn't do very good, but then they come out with a bag of baits or something, So that that's really important to me in building that community and that camaraderie, and people that want to get out, anglers that just want to get out and just get away from work and get away from everything and not think about anything but fishing. So it's great for mental health, and I imagine what you guys are doing is great for mental health and physical health too.
Yeah.
So it's all around great for us and families.
So the work we do at the Combat Recovery Foundation is the work I've been doing at the TPO, but I just never knew what the name was. And now that I've had a chance to be surrounded by a bunch of smart individuals in this space, I've been able to put names to stuff. And to be honest with you, we're in the business, and this is a funny thing to say. In that, what I mean by funny thing is that it elicits a weird response when we say what the work it is that we do, because we're in the business of suicide prevention. And at some point, sooner or later, we as civilians, we as communities around here, got to stop getting so heebie-jeebied about this word, okay? Because we have to be prepared to do the simple things that it takes to help combat this and get rid of it, because it is a mental health issue. And it's not just veteran first responder. It's affecting everybody across this country. My nonprofit's focused on those two demographics. That's who I'm trying to work with. But any and everybody can benefit from this stuff. And what we do is upstream prevention, right? We're not talking about we're working with folks that are in a dark space right now type thing. We have crisis intervention resources now. Now I do with the Combat Recovery Foundation. We have those resources, but the lion's share of our day is spent attacking those three pillars, which is what improves mental health, physical health, and overall just well-being. And that is remove isolation, rebuild community, and restore mission and purpose, man. We as human beings, we have those, there's that psychological breakdown. There's three main fundamentals that we need, for happiness, right? There's belonging, competency, and resolve, right? I mean, those three pieces, if we have that in our life, we're good, right? We're at least we're better off than the average bear. This is a way we do that, dude. Is we don't let people be alone. Friday night, you got to be at the meeting. We do a shotgun start for this very purpose. We'll find a place that we can launch everybody from the same location, because I want them all together. Plus, something I bring in from the boat world is that on that morning we do an invocation, and then we do a national anthem, and then we launch. We send them out. I'm less worried about getting out at the butt crack of dawn, and more about getting everybody together, getting a bunch of smiles, everybody's ready to go, and launch them, and send them out to go have fun for the day. So yeah, it's that feeling there that we're trying to get across, is that we use kayak fishing because we all, those of us that love it, that's our common ground, right? If I saw you two guys at a lake, we could probably start chatting, just because we all three got kayaks and we're all sitting around, so immediately we're going to be like, hey, how was it today? And I met one of the greatest human beings that I've ever met in kayak fishing, Andy Moore. That's how I met Andy, was in Okoboji, Iowa, at an event for the All-American. And he was at a ramp and I was at a ramp. And next thing you know, we're just sitting there yapping it up. and now I've got a friend, somebody I call, consider a dear friend of mine. And it's like, I met Marty Hughes, same way. Met him at Wilson, actually, Wilson, Kansas. And it was just because I'm driving through a campsite and I see a camper and a kayak and I'm like, hey, there's another kayak angler. I start yapping with him. Next thing you know, now again, Marty's somebody I consider a good friend. So yeah, it's a great community, dude. And that's, I think, what we all truly fell in love with. And so that's what the PBKS is focused on, is we go there first. And then, we're going to throw in some competition and bragging rights and, simple little, nothing real flashy or this or that. The prizes giveaways, though, I got to say, Kistler's stepped in. We got Yak Attack helping us, Survival Frog, Amped Outdoors. We got some big, awesome, companies that have thrown up some prizes that we just raffle them off to just vets, just first responders, get a chance to win those. So we, as the civvies, get to sit back and watch these guys score some pretty cool gear. It's kind of fun.
I hadn't had a chance.
Would you take $5 for that? I'll give 10. You didn't have a kayak.
I was familiar when I was kind of looking at making the thumbnail for this. I was looking at the different ones. I was like, oh, okay. But what does Survival Frog do? I'm just curious.
So Survival Frog is the best way. So they're first and foremost, they're a prepper, online prepper store. Like you can get a lot of, the canned foods, MREs, stuff for, like a bug out bag, this sort of thing. But on top of that, and what comes with that, is a pile of super cool camping gear. And so they have a lot of great personal camping stuff. Like one of the things we'll be giving away, which I am super jealous. I may have to wait till a good deal comes on these. I'm going to get one, an electric hand warmer, dog. And it can sub as a phone charger, like a power bank. Yeah. So you just basically, it's like it's fits like right in the palm of your hand. You can stick it in your pocket and it will sit there and just warm your hand up. And I'm like, can it handle a little bit of water? And he's like, yeah, it can handle. It's water resistant, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to get it in the area there, but I'm just thinking for those days that I do get out, and it's kind of chilly. I'm like, yeah.
I have a inexpensive version of that, and I absolutely love it. I actually, when it's not cold out, they work really good. If you're out of your kayak and you put it on your shoulder, if your shoulder hurts or something, I literally put it on for like a heating pad, and not only warm my hands, but our power went out here because we had some huge winds 2 nights ago, and I had it set next to my bed, and I plugged in my phone and charged my phone until the power came back on because it was out for like 12 hours. So they're an amazing. I recommend them for anybody, especially if you do any cold weather fishing. I'm sure you do in Colorado. So
that's a great.
Be like 5 guys in our club that use them now, because I was like, check this out. They're like, what is that? I was like, they're awesome, is what they are.
Yeah. So that's a great old man hack, Tony. I love that. When my shoulder hurts, I appreciate that, brother. Yeah. Oh, do I appreciate that?
It works.
You put some icy hot on there, and then they put
they do those. What are those? Like they take the warm stones and they put them on your back and stuff. Like just take one of those, put it on your back. I've used it multiple times for that purpose.
I've got
it really well.
Survival Frog they put it on special, so I got a couple of them. They're these Tesla lighters. You literally just charge it up, and there's no flame to it. It uses electricity.
Yeah.
Those little things are slick, dog. I keep that. Where they're great is in tying knots. You get the heat right where you want it without a worry of a flame, melting off your fishing line. That little Tesla deal, I can get that, that tag in, melted down. They're just perfect, especially on braid. Yeah, they've got all kinds of stuff out there. And one of the cool things was how I met the guy, the founder of Survival Frog. He's here in Colorado. I was at Stanley Lake, which is kind of my home lake if I had one. It's about 30 minutes from where I live. I'm a registered contractor now. The TPO is through the city of Westminster over there, because that's kind of been our lake we take folks to. I'm at Stanley Lake, and I took some guys out. We get all done. I send them on their way, and I'm just cleaning up, some stuff. And this guy comes up. He goes, "Hey man, if you don't mind me asking, are you a guide out here?" And I'm like, kinda. but not really. I was like, this is, I explained to him what it is I was doing. He's like, oh my gosh. He goes, I love that, dude. He goes, outdoors. I'm like, yes, sir. It's a powerful thing, and we just try to be that vehicle for him. He's like, take my card. Tell me how we can help. And I'm like, wow, a year later. Because up to this point, I'm like, I don't know if I need a sleeping bag or a can of, beef. I'm not sure how that works with kayak fishing,
And bacon.
right? Next thing you know, we're doing the PBKS. We need some stuff. I put together a small list of things and I felt sheepish about asking him for this. Next thing I know, I've got 4 boxes at my house. He loaded us up and said, take this stuff right here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Byron. So, yeah, Byron, we love you, dog. And there's we got some killer backpacks that we give away from them, camping table, got a cool, like a Gerber, setup basically that they have, we got just, a personal sleeping bag. It's folds up to about that big, type deal. It's got that space age stuff that reflects like 90% of your body heat back at you. So yeah, it's just some cool stuff in there, and their website's a ton of fun. It's like, oh, I could make the wife look at me funny, just all the stuff I want to try out that they have. It's like, yeah, send me some of that. I still want to try to make a meal out of that stuff and just see, can you survive on it? Look at that Memorial Day. There you go.
Yeah.
Look at them go.
That's a good deal.
Wow. Yeah.
They got a bit of everything.
Dude, go check them out. There's that hand warmer right there. Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's one we've got some of those.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh, they are, dude. They have really reasonable cost on their stuff. Look, what is that? Solar panel, huh?
Yeah.
I'll stop sharing so you don't.
Right? We're just gonna have a show of digging in there.
My orders. Let me go back up.
I was just curious. That's one I hadn't seen in the kayak scene, and it interested me. So we have a lot of our fellow anglers that camp. They camp for the tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'll have to check it out. But
yeah, check them out for sure. And
it's awesome when you can find sponsors that just they want to be there and they want to help and they want to donate and yeah, because that's always fun. No matter if you're a first responder or a vet or just a regular angler,
that's the community side of it.
Awesome.
And that's
awesome.
We love that, especially when they step in like that to help out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
So yeah, so tournament, you have to be there Friday night if you're going to sign up.
We ask people to, yeah.
What time? Usually 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, 4 or 5 o'clock. We'll be brewing up whatever it is that I come up with for a menu there. And I try to cut off registration. I say like the Wednesday before, just so that gives me an idea before I'm on the way if I need to pick up more food or not. I'll begin, like the last time in New Mexico, I cooked up like 20 pounds of pork shoulder and butt. I smoked it up and prepped that up for some, pulled pork sandwiches and such. Pair of 10 pounders, that we put together there. And we had, plenty. First night we do something easy, just like some, beaks and feet pretty much, like hot dogs and, and brats, that sort of thing. Something easy for the first night. And then the second night during the awards, we try to, do a little bit more with that.
Gene, do you supply like fishing poles for them too, or
just for the people we bring?
Yeah, exactly. For the people that you bring. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, basically anybody that we're bringing down there, we'll have we supply baits. Them with their kayaks and everything.
Okay. We'll kind of tell you a couple baits when we're off the air as far as you might want to pick up when you go there.
Nice.
Because they're very specific to that lake.
Oh, cool.
So we might give you some suggestions on what you might want to pick up.
I won't be fishing the tournament. I know that because, like I said, I really doubt that this young couple in the family, I doubt they'll want, because they've never even been in a kayak before, not for fishing per se. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to spend the day just making sure they have fun and then watching. And I just want to give a huge shout out, Dwayne Wally. Love you, brother Dwayne. He too has been going through some rough times out there and dealing with some stuff. And he donates the usage of Tourney X to us 100%. and it's people don't realize until they have to administer one of these that it's reasonable on price, but to a little nonprofit, everything costs money and it hurts because it takes away from what little budget we do have out there, right? We're not trying to gouge anybody to cover this stuff. We're trying to basically see if we can break the thing even. That's what what we hope for. Um, so the fact that Dwayne is donating the entire usage, of Tourney X there, that is super, super cool for us. We love him for that. And then we use, if we get enough people, I actually bring in Joshua Booth from Go Fish Tournament Solutions. I
Mm-hmm.
have him do the judging.
Yeah.
If we have enough people, if we don't, if it's 10 people or whatever, I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, especially if I'm not going to fish it. And we're pretty relaxed when it comes to the judging on the thing, especially if it's new folks coming in.
Yeah, mouth open kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's somebody I know and they're a real good angler, then I'll be real picky on them. But
Um,
Well, the fish's eyes closed. Nope.
yeah,
No,
exactly. He
No.
blinked.
no eyelid.
now, Josh, if memory serves, is he also a vet?
Yes, he is. United
Yeah, I
States
thought.
Marine. Yep.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Josh may or may not have judged a couple of my fish this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
if,
I have to apologize. Some of the stuff out there is a little old, but
that's okay.
yep.
Now,
Um,
do you guys run Newports on the back of there? It looks like.
Yep, we have two that I have a Newport NK 180 that's been with us from the beginning, and then we picked up last season. We picked up a 180 Pro,
Okay.
so that we run on there. So we have two of them that run 24 volt, and then we have the other two are bow mount motors.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, is this still set up so if somebody did want to donate to your cause, they could donate here, or would you like them to donate
Yeah.
somewhere else?
100% right there. TPO's not going anywhere. We're staying functional. We have contracts, we have relationships. The fact that I will be, primarily primarily first, working for combat recovery changes nothing with the TPO. We still I'm still have a team out there, and our kayak adventures just become one of the programs that the CRF's going to offer, right? And that's the main. It's that one mission mentality where we're working together for the same reason. We're here to serve, and so we just keep it going. Like I said, TPO's been phenomenal there. I have to be willing that I know we can reach more people and do more good by locking shields with the CRF. So we're going to do that. But if this season goes awesome for the PBKS, we are for sure going to do it again next season. But and we'll be getting together, talking to some people and seeing what that looks like, and maybe going to some other, we just want to go to cool places and give people a chance to get out, have fun, and go experience some cool stuff.
Yeah, guys, if you're listening, skip that cup of coffee and put $5 toward it. Donate.
And it's we're a full 501c3 through the IRS set up there. So any of the receipts that you get there, it's a full tax, tax write off there completely with
Very
us.
nice.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to make it to Milford because I got to work Friday night, but if I'm not doing anything, I may come out and just hang out and don't have to feed me or anything. Just meet and greet kind of thing is always fun. And
Heck yeah,
it's all about the community, right? So
100%. We're at Acorn Resort. We got sites 58 and 59. That's where we're going to be. And so we'll be there Friday evening, Saturday evening, and then Sunday we'll probably pack it up and roll back on out because I want to say it's about 7 hours from the metro area.
Yeah.
Milford is, and so we'll want to get the folks home on Sunday there, but I'll be getting in Thursday evening to get everything set up. The family will be arriving. They're actually bringing a small RV, and so they'll be arriving on Friday. Coming in there. So normally I just bring them in the pickup with me so it doesn't cost them a single dime, and we truck on down the road, but not this time. They want to bring an RV, and I'm like, yeah, I've already got a trailer, a kayak, so you're going to have to tow that. But man, if anybody wants to swing on bike, stop on over, say, hey, let's chat it up.
it's good to spread the word, right? Like more people,
Yes, sir.
awesome. So just some thank you so much for all that. And then thanks for doing what you do.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. I know Tim and I have quite a few vets in our family as well. Neither of us are currently, but we have our dad, our brothers, nieces, nephews, all sorts of people active, some Marines, Army,
Yep.
Air Force. I don't think we have anybody in the Navy, but we are in Kansas, so.
My father-in-law was in the Navy.
Oh, your
There you
father-in-law
go.
was. That's right. Yeah,
There you go.
forgot about John.
Yep.
So thank you for everyone in your service. But yeah, we'll just kind of finish out here some questions, random questions, some fun, some serious. But so what's one of your favorite first responders, vets, like a memorable story since you haven't been doing it for that long, maybe you don't have a good one, but any of them from your past?
Oh God, yeah. No,
What's your favorite one?
every trip is one out there. It all depends on what kind of filter you want me to put on this. I'll give you a family-friendly one.
Yeah,
there you go. How about that?
Keep in mind, I take out some, a lot of combat vets, and
Of course.
the coping mechanism. Yeah,
Parking lot with a sprinkler system.
yeah. No, one of the best ones was actually just this year. Every year there's something memorable, that goes on. The one I'll give two on this. One last year, or maybe 2 years ago, a Navy vet that I've been taking out a couple times. He asked me, "Hey, would you mind if I brought my son with me?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'd love it. Please do. Bring your son." And his son's in high school. He brings his son out, and we go fishing for the day. And now I can say this now, and Dan, I hope you're watching this or watching recorded or live, either way. But because I told him this same story when we went down to Conscious Lake. But I knew that his son was, had a couple social challenges. I could see that, but I didn't think much about it. Right? It's like, no, I was, I like Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid. I'm a former computer nerd. Myself. Yeah, I'm down. So that's kind of what I thought was going on there. So we go through the day. Matisse catches a fish, and it's his first bass that he's ever caught. And he is putting his hands in the air, looking over at his dad over there. And he's like, "Father!" He's celebrating that he got this smallmouth. What I didn't realize is that Matisse, has autism. And Matisse was tied to my kayak for the whole day. And he and I were just, yapping it up, and we started towards the end of the day. He started, "I would have caught that fish if you wouldn't have moved the boat," type thing. And I'm like, "Oh, now you sound like an angler, Matisse. Here we go." This young man, to know that we could take he and his father's Navy, Navy vet father out on the water and give them that experience, dude, that was huge. That was so awesome, and we look forward every year, to doing that. The one from this year was less heartfelt and more just. I've always said that the moment that one of these guys starts, busting my chops, I know I'm in. Right? If they insult me with a good crack, a good joke or something, now I know I'm in, because now I've got their respect. They feel comfortable enough with me to crack on me or whatever. And I always say, you're either going to laugh at me or with me, dude. One of the two. We're going to have a good time when we go out. Well, we go out to this very tough lake here in Colorado called Aurora Reservoir. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of us out there. All vets and then me. I'm a civilian, former first responder myself. So we're out here. I'm the only one with live scope, right? I use it on my guide boat. I use it for that purpose, to track fish down. Well, I'm seeing fish. We just can't get them to fire. We can't get anything to go. And it's getting pretty tight. Well, then each one of them pick off a fish, right? They all get one. I haven't caught anything yet. And as I spin around and we're going over, I think he was Navy or Air Force, one of the two. He's like, "Well, let me see. Everybody's caught a fish, but how much did you pay for that live scope, dude? You might want to get some money back on that." I'm just saying, he says. And I'm like, yo. I'm like, okay, I see you now. And so when you get those type of things like that start to occur, you're building a connection, right? I mean, you're getting that bond that we hope to achieve just in those few hours, when we go out. Authentic, dude. That's the key. I often tell people this. You don't need to be a therapist to help. Okay. Don't think as a civilian, you are highly, highly valuable to help in this area here. All you got to be is authentic and be present, man. Just be there. Be legit. Don't be faking out on anything or trying to be something that you're not. Just be authentic. There's a lot of times where a lot of combat vets would rather talk to a civilian than another combat vet, depending on the situation. That you'll hear them tell you that. It's like, no, actually, I kind of dig being able to just, voice to you on some of this stuff here because I know I don't get any judgment back or anything. I'm like, right. Yeah, I mean, say your piece. I don't care what it is. I don't have to agree with your opinion to respect yours. You know what I mean? It's like, just let it fly, man. Speak your piece when you're out here. It's the one thing that I try to tell people is that remember, in our communities, I'm talking just your local town, when the crap hits the fan, there's a group of people that run towards that crap. And they do it for a lot of people that they don't know and that, quite frankly, maybe don't deserve it, but they still do it for them. They go handle things and they run towards the crap that the rest of us are stepping back from. That group, we're losing them to these mental health challenges here at a staggering rate. We got to do something about that as a community. That's who can help that is the community needs to do something. One great way to do that is creating that bond, dude, and going fishing. How kick-ass and awesome is that? Going fishing, yes, that is healing, man. And that's when you realize that taking somebody out or helping them get involved and get that wicked addiction like we got into kayak angling. Yeah. Oh, I got two guys that I've taken out a couple times. Now they own a pair of kayaks and their wives are looking at them like, you are buying more stuff from Tackle Warehouse? What the hell? And I'm like, I need to pen an apology letter to your wives now.
Yeah, they get to retire 10 years later now. Thanks, Gene.
Exactly.
I was the storm was coming in the other night, and I placed an order on Tackle Warehouse, and then Tim texts me and goes, "You guys get this? You guys get the storm yet?" And I said, "It just hit and our power's out, but luckily I got my Tackle Warehouse."
I'm good.
So, my UPS guy just looks at me and goes, "Oh man, dude." I was like, "I know, another freaking Tackle Warehouse order."
Yeah, I don't order that much stuff. I've cut way back on when I first started in 2018. Is the first time I got in a kayak, and I was down at in Panama, Mexico Beach, down by Panama City, Florida.
Nice. Yeah.
And I went down with my oldest brother, and we went down there, and I got in a kayak, and it was like an ascend, so it didn't paddle for anything, right? And I came back and I came back and looked at my wife and I was like, "This is my life now. I'm quitting everything else." And she's like, "Okay." That's like I get into things, I know. And that's 8 years later, and I'm not happy unless I'm in my kayak. It seems like so. I love kayak. I love being in the kayak as much as I love fishing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, dude, it's not by mistake, right? It's there's so much going on there that your body responds to, man. Your mind, your body, just everything. There's a physiological, there's a mental, benefit. There's the science is there. They know that it does it. They're still trying to learn the whys, right, behind a lot of it.
Yeah.
Recreational therapy got moved from alternative into complementary medicine now. So it's not considered alternative anymore. It's something called complementary alternative medicine. So much so the VA actually offers recreational therapy. They have rec therapists on staff. So it's legit. It is real, and it's one of those things that dude, taking a walk is free. And something that simple, what it can do for your, just kind of straighten things up a little bit to give you a little bit cleaner picture on life. But I don't like walking as much as I like fishing in a kayak. So I don't run a walking organization. We run kayak fishing.
There's not much like it either. So
Yeah.
Tim, you want to shout out a few go kind of a quick questions, a couple actual fishing questions?
Yeah.
Shoot those out.
Yeah. You want to do like
Yeah,
well, we already talked about why does fishing bring people together so well.
Yeah.
Um, But Gene, what about you? What's the longest drive you've ever made while for fishing?
For
What's the longest?
fishing.
Yeah, for fishing.
So it should have only taken me 21 hours, but it took me
Only.
20. Yeah, it should have only taken me 21, but it took me 24 because I got the bright idea that I was going to just pull over and take a nap when I got tired. A couple of those naps, dude, it was like I've been abducted. You know, it's like I wake up, I'm like, that wasn't 20 minutes. That was an hour. What the heck happened? Worst mistake ever made. I had a blast hanging out there, fishing at Gunnersville, but I went from Colorado to Gunnersville,
Oh,
put the drive on and got to fish in a kayak at Gunnersville. But I'll be honest with you, I spent 3 days in a haze because of that stupid. I tried to pull that drive straight through.
yeah.
And I don't remember several of the days. I remember the Airbnb. I remember hanging out with my homie Joshua Deal, the real deal down there. He and I had an Airbnb. I remember the storm that came in on the last day of practice. Big storm blew through, and Josh and I actually drove around the lake, helping a couple guys get off the water because it caught them out there
I
in a
think I've
few
seen a
areas.
couple of YouTube videos where they were washed up onto the shore, like
Yep,
using private people's ramps. Was that right? Is that the
yep,
same what I'm thinking of? Yeah.
probably, yeah. So that's probably been the longest from a kayak drive that I've ever made. Was out to there. I've done Pickwick. I did drive to Hartwell, but I did that with the wife, and so we stayed at a hotel and broke that out into a couple days. But yeah, Pickwick and Gunnersville. Those are a long haul from Colorado.
So, what's your favorite state to fish at, rather than Colorado? Let's say, what's your favorite state? You got to pick one. Be like, hey, I'm going here for fishing.
I love my family. I love my homies. I love my fellow anglers out here, but Colorado's probably my least favorite state to fish in. My favorite, for familiarity, my favorite place to fish in the entire nation so far to this date has been La Crosse, Wisconsin, the
Okay.
Mississippi River. Pools 8 and 9 and 10 specifically. Most La Crosse events are 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
I've had a chance to fish. They put on an event down there where they did 10, 11, 12. So that lower pool 9 is one of my favorites down in there. That type of fishing from largemouth to smallmouth, you name it. You can get back in swamps without worries of gators. 98, 99.9% of the snakes you see there are not venomous. They're just spooky looking. That's about it. You know, if they're dangling from a tree or whatever, that's not cool. But,
You quit on
um,
that.
yeah, but yeah, I would say up there for sure. Although I've never truly, I've not had a chance to truly fish some of these other, southern areas down there and really dig into them. I've been at La Crosse on my boat dozens of times, and I've been up there on a kayak a handful of times now. So I know that area, but yeah, I just love bass fishing. Any place I can get in the muck. I am not an offshore guy.
Yeah.
Get me in the weeds, dude. That's where I love it. I love slopping around, punching, throwing
Yep.
frogs. I mean, that's the way.
So, what's the biggest bass you've ever caught?
Biggest bass I've ever been able to legitimately say that I brought in was just over 6 pounds, and that was in Minnesota. He barely. My scale didn't have like ounces on me. It was one of those analog scales,
Mm-hmm.
so the needle just went over the 6
Was that a
when I had
smaller?
to. No, it was
Large?
a largemouth.
Oh, wow.
Largemouth. Yep, on the jig bite.
Very nice. What's the biggest one that you've lost? Have you won in a tournament where you're like, oh my God, that was a
Oh,
monster?
yeah. That would have been Coon Lake, Minnesota. That's just north of the Twin Cities. This thing bit the frog, and it's like somebody flushed a toilet. The mouth that come up and just watched the water disappear, and my frog went with it. And I sat there and set the hook, and as the fight began, got him off. It was like a swim dock, and I just thrown the frog right up next to the swim dock and was pulling it along the edge. And literally, like I said, it looked like someone flushed a toilet. And this big old bucket mouth come up. I have no idea exactly how big it was, but it was hands down the biggest headed bass that I that I've ever seen in the wild, type deal. And he spit the frog, gave it back to me. He was real nice. You can have this back. I don't need it.
Thank you so much. You just ruined my day.
Yep. But thankfully my son was with me on that one. So I did have a witness to that. We both
Yeah.
just stood there, shaking like that buck fever, type thing. We had bass fever shaking, looking at each other like, did we just see what we just saw?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So do you have like a favorite go-to travel or tournament day food? Is there something that you pack that like maybe that is your kind of cup of tea or?
Now I'll be honest with you. It used to be Uncrustables. I was straight. That was the game, right?
That's what I pack.
Yep. And then I got old, Tim, and the doc said, "Hey, Chubby, you need to back off of sugar." And I'm like, okay. So yeah, I've changed up quite a bit now, and that is probably the hardest part of travel now is making sure that I eat proper. It's not sexy what goes in my lunch bag now. My breakfast is usually like a quick yogurt with some blueberries and a couple of hard boiled eggs. I load a no carb in the mornings and afternoons. So there's a lot of fruit. I'll do the wife and I love this. I discovered this at Norton. Actually, I had to do it because they didn't have a good bread that I was going to use. So to make a sandwich, what I did is I just took cheese and wrapped it in meat. So I make a meat log. And if I'm feeling real bougie, I'll put a little mustard in there. And I put that in a Ziploc bag, dude. And it's my meat log that I mow out there. And I try not to think about the garlic or fish that's on my hand when I'm eating.
But see, Uncrustable, you can just take it in the package and eat it, so you don't have to touch it.
I miss those days, man. I miss those days. Yeah, I could take a handful of those, but
you can
yeah,
make them a little healthier if you put some slices of bell peppers in between that meat and cheese.
Yeah.
Look at you. I love it, dog.
They're really good. They're like little mini wraps. I actually eat those.
Nice.
So, yeah.
But yeah, so it's all the health food kick now. If I'm good at lunch or breakfast and lunch, then I can step out and be a little bit more free with my dinner then and have a burger or something like that, but no fast food. Yep. No fast food at all. I gotta stay away from the grease.
Yep. That's a good choice. Tony, you want to take the next one?
Yeah. So one last question here. Are you a coffee, energy drink, or on tournament mornings?
Coffee, dog.
Yeah.
Coffee. I don't do the poison drinks. I don't put any of that stuff in me. Coffee though, I do. I throw usually like a teaspoon of honey is what I'll throw in there just because, got to sweeten it up a little bit. I can't go too bitter with it, but yeah, coffee for sure. I travel with my own coffee maker. I got one of those little 1 cup like Walmart versions. Yeah, Keurigs. Yeah, although mine's
I got
15.
one of those too.
Yeah. Hardest part is just finding like milk, creamer. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, I started. I used to do like oat milk, and I just have a little container that I just reuse and throw it in my cooler. So I always have it.
I need to do that.
Yeah, just like you probably have 14 empty water bottles in your cabinet that everybody has probably bought and used and not used or logos all over it.
Yep.
So I just got a little one that's about this big, and I think it was my daughter's, and I'm like, just gonna use this. This is perfect. It's got a tight lid, seals. It's awesome. Insulated, so I just throw it in the cooler.
Love it. Yep. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that on the next one because I just threw milk in there basically. So
yeah. But I think we're about at time here, but I want to thank you so much for coming on. Just a few reminders that it's May 30th.
Yes, sir.
Registration, they prefer to be done by Wednesday. Be there Friday for by about 4:00 for dinner and whatnot, and kind of captain's meeting, I'm assuming a little bit. And the veterans and first responders fish for free. So if you sign up, how does that? I do have one question. If you sign up, do you have to contact you?
Nope. There's a coupon code. Go to our Facebook page and you'll see we have a couple posts that we put the coupon code out there. And so if you're a vet first responder, just grab that coupon code and when you register, plug it in and it'll knock the price completely off and make it free.
Is
There's
that
no-
already on there, Gene? Is the tournament already on active
Yeah,
right now?
on Tourney X. Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
it's been up and running there. So
Perfect.
again, at the Facebook, just look at PBKS 2026. Just go there and you'll find our page, or just look for Patriot Borderland Kayak Series and you'll find us there for sure.
And it's kayak only, right? No small
Nope.
John boats or anything like that.
If it floats, dude, bring it. You
All
know
right.
what we do ask for, because like in the last one at Conscious, we did have a couple folks in a boat because that was a little bit more easy for them to get around in. What we ask is that during the shotgun start, no big motors are being used, just electric motor only to take off. Wait till they're clear of the kayaks before they
Mhm.
put a big motor up and go. So yeah, and if there's some folks that just want to hang out and fish from the shore, do that too, man. Whatever floats their boat, you know, literally, if they want to come out and fish with us and hang. Right now, as it stands, we're looking at the Farnham Creek area is what we're looking at. That may change. We'll know that Friday night. It'll all depend on the weather, right?
Yep,
That's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wind could be pretty bad on that lake, so yeah.
If the wind goes goofy, we have, after I spoke with you guys, we have a couple alternative locations we can move down to make it more fun for folks and a little bit more safe. So we'll put it through. And that's, like I tell everybody, the only two things that stop us from fishing are lightning and wind.
Yeah.
A little bit of rain, no worries. We're good with that. That's not a big deal. But
And Gene, do you require them to wear a life vest at all times?
100%.
Yep.
No, that's the one thing I will not negotiate on. PFD goes
Good.
on, never comes off. If you do have to, you know, change or thin out layers or whatever, we
Yeah.
tell them you reel in all fishing lines. They have to come in, and then paddle gets stowed. Do your change out, buckle back up again, and away they go. So
Okay.
yeah, always PFD.
Yep.
I've taught myself how to take off my jacket with the zipper without even taking off my life jacket, so it's doable.
That's like the equivalent to like.
Yeah, I know what
when the chicks would pull it out the sleeve. That's pretty awesome, dude.
Magic Tony, Magic Mike
That's where I
Tony.
learned it from.
Magic Mike Tony, I love it.
You gotta see what he does at the award ceremonies.
I have
No,
now
you shouldn't.
desperately I need to get over there, get the video going.
Yeah.
I will say I don't think I said this yet, but we do record all of our award ceremonies now. We started doing that last year.
Nice.
And this last one at Melbourne, I accidentally hit the time lapse button, didn't realize it. So the I don't know, 35 minutes of footage we had, it's just everybody just moving really fast, like, you know, so I was
like the Benny Hill show, man.
yeah. You know, that's a good idea. I need to finish the video and put it out there, because we actually put all the award ceremony right here on the Line podcast.
Sweet.
So if you go to like the YouTube channel, we put them on there, and people have really enjoyed that, because they kind of like go out and watch it, and more people show up because they're seeing what we're doing there and the camaraderie, and
Yeah.
it really shows people like how they are, and like, oh man, I kind of want to be a part of that, instead of just going home because they had a bad day. So
Exactly.
we get about 90 to 95% of the people that do the tournament show up for the award ceremony. So
That is so cool, man.
yeah, and plus you can usually find out some good baits and what people were using. So
It's a great way to, even if you have a bad day, it's a great way to make it not bad. Come over
Mhm.
there and, bitch a little bit, share some stories here. Misery loves company, right? But then find out what some guys are doing. And yeah, before you know it, you've forgotten about a rough day on the water and you're having a good time.
yeah, June 13th, we're doing a state lake roadrunner. So you can do any state lake in Kansas. There's a state lake. There's a link out there on the Kansas Department of Wildlife Parks. But anyway, June 13th is a state lake roadrunner for the Kansas Kayak Series. I'm actually going to miss because we're not having an award ceremony, because obviously it's all over the state. Any state lake in Kansas.
Is Cedar Bluff on that?
It's a reservoir,
So
not a state lake.
what
So,
about Keith Sebelius?
Reservoir.
reservoir?
Norton. That's Norton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think
There's
what's
some
out
state
there.
lakes out there. There's some way out. Chase, not Chase.
Scott State Lake. Is that it?
Scott
Scott?
State Lake is way out there.
It's right south of, I want to say Waukene or something.
No, it's
No,
northern-
it's almost by the border of
it's like
Colorado.
4 hours from here, 4.5 hours
Yeah,
from
4 or
west.
5, 4. Yeah.
West. So
Hmm.
Well, any final shout outs, sponsors, anything like that, Gene, or anything to check out? that we haven't already talked about, or
No,
again?
man. I just sincerely appreciate you guys taking the time
Oh, of
with us
course.
here, and I hope if anybody is hearing this in the Kansas area, we'd love to meet you, man. Come on out. Let's chop it up. Even if the tournament thing's not the deal, if you just want to come out and have a good time, man, just reconnect and hang out for a while. We'd love to have you there. That's the main thing is we're just we're hoping to especially connect with the vets, first responders in that neck of the woods, but civilians too, man. This is it's important that we keep coming together on this stuff and yeah, a no pressure, low pressure, easy fun tournament. Come on, can't beat it, right? And
Yep.
hopefully the food's good. I mean, I'll do my best.
We'll let you know.
Right, right.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank
So
you.
thanks, Gene,
Thank you
for coming
guys.
on.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for watching. If you got questions, drop them in the comments if you're watching this, later. And if we see anything that's for Gene, is the best way to contact you through like Facebook if they have questions or anything like that?
Yeah. I pulled off of Instagram and some of the other mess. So yeah, just hit me on Facebook. And you can hit me personally or hit up the Patriot Borderland Kayak Series, or the Double S podcast too. Any one of those you can reach me at.
Thank you
Sounds
so
good.
much.
We'll stay on the line there, Gene, while we go off, and we'll talk to you for a minute afterwards here. So
Copy that. Thank you guys again so very much. We appreciate you guys.
thank you.
Well, and at the end of the day, it's more than just about the tournaments. It's about community, getting outdoors, and really just fishing, bringing people together. So thank you so much. And everybody that's watching, thank you. And we'll see you next time.